Did you know that one year Ducky Daddle helped Santa Claus? Rudolph was having some trouble and Ducky Daddle came to the rescue. Or was it just a dream? You're going to have to listen and find out.
Hi, this is Grandpa Bob again, and I want to tell you another story about Ducky Daddle. And this one is about Ducky Daddle. You may not believe it, but this is about Ducky Daddle meeting Santa Claus. And let me tell you how that happened. On one of his Christmases, Ducky Daddle and his mom and dad were downstairs in their house. And the mom said, Ducky Daddle, I think we should all go to bed early tonight because Santa Claus comes tonight. Tomorrow is Christmas. This is Christmas Eve. So Ducky Daddle said, okay, I will. So they all went to bed, and mom and dad went to their beds, and Ducky Daddle went up to his. And when Ducky Daddle went up to his bed, he had trouble sleeping. And while he was lying in bed, he was rolling around, and he just couldn't get to sleep for some reason. So he thought to himself, I'm big enough now, and I'm strong enough. I could go for a little fly. I'd fly around the lake a little bit and get tired, and then come back in. So Ducky Daddle decided he'd go ahead and do that. So he got up out of bed, even though his mom and dad were down in their bed sleeping. Ducky Daddle went outside and went for a little fly around the lake. And as he was going around the lake about halfway, all of a sudden there was a loud sound, like a whoosh. And that loud sound frightened Ducky Daddle at first. And then he looked over and he saw, oh my goodness, that is Santa Claus with the reindeer and Rudolph. And here's a little picture that shows what they were like when he looked over. And you can see Santa Claus in the sleigh, and then the 8 reindeer, and leading the reindeer is Rudolph the red-nosed reindeer. Now the names of the 8 reindeer, I don't know whether you remember or not, but Dasher and Dancer and Prancer and Vixen and Comet and Cupid and Donder and Blitzen. And the one in the front is Rudolph. But notice that his nose isn't too red. That's what Ducky Daddle saw when he first looked over and saw Santa Claus. And then Santa Claus immediately said to him, Ducky Daddle, I need help. Can you come over and help me? And Ducky Daddle said, Santa Claus needs help? So he flew over to the sled, and Santa Claus said, I have a problem with Rudolph. And Ducky Daddle said, what's the matter? He said, Rudolph didn't eat his supper tonight because he was too busy playing with some other reindeer. So he didn't eat his supper, and he's a little bit tired, and even his nose isn't red like it usually is. So Ducky Daddle said, what can I do to help? And Santa says, I need you to fly some food up to where Rudolph is and let Rudolph eat it. And Ducky Daddle said, sure, Santa. So Santa gave him something that looked like this. It was carrots, because that was the favorite food for Rudolph. He loved those carrots. And so he took the carrots, the big quantity of carrots, and he flew up to where Rudolph was. And when Rudolph saw those carrots, he got excited and he was happy to see them. And as he was starting to eat the carrots, Ducky Daddle could see that the carrots were just disappearing. Rudolph would start at the bottom here, and he'd eat, 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 right up to almost to the stems. And he was so happy to have all that food. So Ducky Daddle then went back to Santa in the sleigh, and he said to Santa, I just fed Rudolph, and look what he ate. He ate all of the carrots except for the stems. And Santa said, well, that's what he usually does because he's a good eater. So he took those in the sled and put those in the sled, the stems. And then Santa said, now I have to see thousands and thousands of children now with presents, and I have to travel thousands and thousands of miles to see them. So we have to leave right away. And Rudolph, he looked at Rudolph way up on the sled, and Rudolph now was really happy and ready to go. He was even smiling. And so they all took off, and with another loud whoosh, the whole sleigh and all the reindeer and Rudolph took off. And in just 1 minute, Ducky Daddle couldn't even see them anymore. They were going so fast. So Ducky Daddle finished his flying around the lake, and he got back to his house. And when he got back to his house, he went right to bed because now he was really tired, not just from flying, but he was tired from having the experience of seeing Santa and feeding Rudolph. So he went right to sleep, and he got into a deep, deep sleep, and he was really sleeping. And in the morning, it was time to get up and go down and open the presents. And Ducky Daddle was sound asleep. He didn't go down. And finally, his mom came up, and she came into the room, and she shook him, and said, Ducky Daddle, are you all right? And Ducky Daddle said, oh, I was sleepy, and I've been sleeping so hard. And she said, I know it, you were really sleeping. And Ducky Daddle said, Mom, you won't believe what happened. I went out, and I was flying around the lake, and I saw Santa Claus. And his mom said, Ducky Daddle, that doesn't happen. Nobody flies around the lake and sees Santa Claus at night. And Ducky Daddle said, I did. She said, Ducky Daddle, I think you were just dreaming. Ducky Daddle said, I was flying, he needed help. I had to feed Rudolph. And his mom said, Ducky Daddle, that doesn't sound right. Now, I think you just had a dream. You had a nice dream, a big dream, but that wasn't real. Now you come on down and let's open presents. So Ducky Daddle said, wonderful, okay, I want to see what Santa Claus left for me. So they went downstairs, and there was a nice pile of presents under the Christmas tree for Ducky Daddle from Santa Claus. And they opened them one by one, and each one was so nice, and Ducky Daddle showed them to his mom and his dad, and he was very pleased with the presents. Then they got to the very last one, and Ducky Daddle's mom said, well, here it is. Here's the very last present. Now, open it and show us what the last present was. So Ducky Daddle unwrapped it, took the wrappings off, opened up the paper, and he looked inside, and this is what he found. Can you believe what Santa Claus left for him? My goodness, it was the stem from the carrots that he had fed to Rudolph. And Ducky Daddle was so happy and so excited. And his mom and dad said, Ducky Daddle, what is that? And Ducky Daddle says, that's from the carrots that I gave to Rudolph last night. It wasn't a dream. I really did that. And Ducky Daddle's mom and dad were so surprised. They'd never seen a Christmas present of a stem from carrots. And Ducky Daddle was so pleased. He said, it's the best present I ever had in my whole life because it proves that I met Santa and that I fed Rudolph. And that's the end of the story.
It wasn't a dream, was it? Ducky Daddle really helped Rudolph. What a great story. And remember, the links to the coloring pages and some other information are below this video. Be sure and like and share this video. Happy holidays.